right. Hi, everyone. Hi. Well, it sounds like everyone in this room can teach the class except for one person. Sounds like.
That one person buried.
Yeah.
I'm the only one being honest around here.
Right.
Here we go.
We have a lot of trust issues in this room this morning.
It's the fire alarm.
Everyone's wound up, right? A little bit of chilly weather. Okay, so when we originally were going to do this class back in like October or whatever, we had a few people in class that had some answers that they wanted, like things in ShowingTime that they wanted to know how to do. So that's where we came up with our short agenda on how to do this. So how to actually book a showing in ShowingTime. So it might be kind of basic for this class, it looks like. And then like do a smart route into the, when you have multiple showings, right? You can click on the things, we'll show you that. Some of the reports, which seems like everyone's familiar with that. Maybe I can even learn something, it sounds like. Setting up feedback requests or like the new like forms so you can make your own custom ones. And then actually when you have a listing, going through and like setting up the listing, how you can even restrict times or days or like a certain day or a certain time, how you can do the like text message calls, everything to the client. So that's kind of what we're going to go over today. And if somebody has something to add, I'm happy to let them jump in too. Okay, so log into the MLS. There we go. I am going to use Christie's because I don't have any listings, so it's a little, when it gets to that point, it's really difficult to do it if you don't have a listing to show some of the reports. So you're going to come in here to Tools and then go to ShowingTime. Oh, I've been moved out. Okay, so a couple different ways how you can schedule some showings. So you can do your search here in the MLS and find the properties that you're going to look for. You can copy and paste the MLS numbers. You can select them here and then click on ShowingTime here at the bottom, and then it's going to populate them into a showing cart, which is actually what we're going to do so that we can then do the smart route. So then when you come in here, so when you come in here, I started to do this earlier. I added myself in here so it wouldn't send anyone else, like some of her clients, and they're like, "What's going on?" She loves when I do that, by the way. Loves it. So you can add a tour and you can add a new person. So we're going to create a new one though, so you can see it. So create a new showing cart, and then we're just going to hit next. So we're going to pick the day. So potentially it's the same day or it could be a different day if you're scheduling ahead. What seems to be going on right now? Are they a lot of same day showings or are you scheduling ahead?
I usually schedule ahead. Yeah, right now. Okay.
So we're going to schedule ahead, and then you can pick your buyer in here. So you can have them already in here or you can add new. You can see Christy uses private sometimes or not provided. I personally, when I show property, I want to know who it is. The only problem is I can't actually book the showings because we don't want to mess up listing agents or their staff.
Yeah. They'll have some glitching going on.
Yes.
Glitching, that happens.
They'll have some glitching. Okay, so when you come in here, make sure, I always check and make sure that I have the right date. I'm a little paranoid about the date, right? Just, I always double check. Okay, yes, the 19th, we're good. That's when we're going to do this. And then it pops in the addresses in here. And then you'll want to pick the time. Oh, and then we have these new reminders. Yes, I have a written agreement with myself. So then you want to pick your start time, right? So we're going to go 9:15 and we're going to go 10:15.
Ellie, do you know the answer to this? Kimberly asked me this the other day, or I think it was, I don't remember who asked me, but if you're doing a preview for something, no, Marta asked me, if you're doing a preview, do you need to have any representation? Like the client's not going to be there.
I feel like you can just,
I think so
it's
too.
being recorded.
Okay, sorry, never mind. Offline.
She's like, I don't know.
But you know what?
Broker.
Email Kevin.
Yeah. I think the correct answer is to ask your
I'm
broker.
gonna just email him right now.
Always the best to
Yeah.
live above reproach.
Well, that's what we talked about. I mean, if you can get it, but like it's an out of state client that she's just starting to look at stuff for, so, but I'm gonna ask Kevin. And I'll report back.
So I did a touring agreement. I have my meeting today and I had a, Friday, I did a tour, like a preview.
Yeah.
And I just did a touring agreement until I could actually get them both to sign. I don't know if that was right or not, but at least it was something, like to your point of live above reproach, like at least I had something in writing.
Okay, I don't know if this is right or not, but I use the preview if I'm just looking at the properties to just see what's out there in the quality of the listings. Where I don't have a buyer. Like there is no buyer. Like I'm literally just previewing it to see what's out there. Yeah. So I have market knowledge. But so then
I mean, then obviously no, because you don't have a client, but I think if you're like looking on behalf of someone, but I'll ask Kevin.
okay, so the next little cool thing in here, oh, it is pretty big. It'll show you right here how many miles and minutes to that next one. But if you click on Smart Route here, it's going to put them in a different order, potentially. And it's the Smart Route. So it's putting them in order of how it thinks it's the best way to drive to all the properties. What I will say is when I was running a team, we always did our showings based on the quality of the house. So we showed the best one first and then went on from there. We never showed the best one last or in a progressive order in that direction because we didn't want the buyer to think that every house they saw got better and better and better and better. So we would actually go in weird orders because of that reason, like to do it on purpose. And that was when there was tons of inventory and you were potentially showing 15 houses 3 different times. And so that's how we did it. So in that case, you would not use the smart route. But if you're trying to be efficient with your gas and all the houses are pretty similar, maybe, and you're not quite sure which one's going to be better or not better, then you can use the smart route. And that's how that works. The other thing, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, back to previewing. If you aren't sure and you do want to go in the right order, like maybe it is a out of town buyer or relo buyer that's coming in, you can preview them quick and then know what order to put them in. So then we're back to here where you can see how many miles and how many minutes. So then you can pick the times for each one. The other cool thing that's right here is it tells you the appointment type. So then you know if it's go and show or you're waiting for an appointment. So if you are doing last minute appointments, maybe you want to do the go and shows first so that you know that those are going to get approved if you have to wait a while for the appointment required one. You can also add other stops. So say it is a relo buyer and you're doing a long day of tour, you can add lunch in there. You can add a stop and put an address in. You could stop at the office. You could stop for coffee. I don't know, you get your nails done. I don't know, whatever you want to do. So you can, so you can add this in here, the address. We'll just put this. We're going to stop at Christy's house on the way. We'll just add Christy's address in here. And then again, you can redo the smart route and it'll pop it in there. So that would be last. She's going to write the offer at her house on the way home. But, yeah, it's really out of the way. So that's how you set all this up. And then you would click down here and send request. I'm not going to do that, but that's where this is where you would get this piece down here. And then there are also like turn-by-turn directions in here. You can print these, you can email them to your client. So you can pull this up and you have the agent's version, which shows you if it's approved or not approved yet. There's a buyer version here. You can show the directions in here. You can have a map in here. Have all sorts of things. So these are like, again, we used to put like these little booklets together, especially when we're doing like a tour of 4 or 5 houses. I know we probably got out of a lot of this practice over the last few years. But we would put these little booklets together and then it would have all this information. They'd feel like they'd have something. They could write notes on it if they liked it or didn't like it. Rate them 1 to 3.
That's one thing I always do when I'm doing multiple showings is when you're leaving any property saying, so of the 2 that I've showed you, which one is your favorite?
Yeah.
And then having them top grade the properties. So at the end of your showing tour, it's, all right, Barry, so you said 1, 2, 3 Main Street is your favorite of the 4 that we looked at today. Is there anything keeping you from making an offer today?
Exactly.
You like to, you're sending the schedule to your clients. Do you use the ShowingTime version of that, or how do you, what's your best practice?
That's actually fairly new. So, I mean, we used to manually do it, like to go into the other reports. I like that this is like pretty and it's got the little pic, like I like the new one in here.
Can you show us how to do that one more time?
Yeah. So up here, you can click on print.
Is the mail icon, is that to email it to them? I would do that, you guys.
That's what I have been doing.
So let's look at,
looks like.
yeah, here, we'll send it to ourselves.
Yeah, I do think that's newer.
Nervous when there's like an auto email, so I like save it as a PDF and email it.
So here, it comes through ShowingTime, and then you're gonna click on it.
So if they're just looking on their phone, yeah, that'd be nice.
The bummer is though, I bet those addresses aren't or was that a hyperlink? Oh, good.
So you could click on directions, and then it opened my Apple Maps.
That's like. Yeah, I would totally do that, you guys, if you're showing more than one house.
Okay, everybody like that? That's also how you book a regular showing. Like, you would just do one though, easier, less properties. All right, so we're good there. Good there. Let's do feedback next. Okay, so in the feedback section, if you click on feedback, then you'll see like feedback that you have on your listings, right? That's the first thing that you see. Listings that you've shown, this would be list like feedback for forms that you have to fill out. And then down here is form design and settings. So you can make your own forms. There are some in here, like for the office that are shared, or you can not share them. So if you have a team, you can make them for the team.
Ours are different than the templated ones as a team, just so you guys know.
Yeah, we made ours funny and then we toned them down a little bit. But like you can do whatever you want. Like we had them like rate them like steak. Yeah, some people did. It's the sellers that don't think it's funny is the problem. So you have to have the right clients. So then we were
$800,000 house compared to a medium rare steak.
Yes. I mean, we thought it was great, but not everyone did. So you can clone one. So you can like take the regular one, you can clone it, or you can create a new one. So you just click on create new. Okay. And then you can add questions. So you can add multiple choice, or you can add where they type in a question or like an actual answer. Just super simple. If you don't like the one that you made, you just click the little trash can. Then you just save it at the end. That's it. Pretty easy. Then you can have settings for them. So you can set it as the default for all of your listings, or you can manually assign them as you take in new listings. Then this is important. You can hold for review, or you can push automatically. I always recommend hold for review because some agents are not professional and say crazy things. So hold for review would mean you get the feedback, you can read it, and then you can publish it to your seller.
When you say not professional.
Yeah.
I had an agent tell a seller that their home needed to be professionally cleaned, and it had just been professionally cleaned. And it was, I walked through it, it looked great.
Yeah, or like there's a smell. And you have to remember, like, sellers can be super sensitive.
Sometimes you want them to hear that, like me, but how we have it set right now for the team is that it automatically goes to the seller. If you wanted to change that, like, we can do that for a client, but usually I find, like, even the people that the feedback came back, one, I actually think the agent was under the influence when she submitted her feedback. And two, it was an opportunity for me to have a conversation with my clients around what's true and what's not true about their.
I think I'm new, obviously, but I feel like there's so much tiptoeing. Sellers and have their feelings around the house. Like, don't we want the buyer's feedback getting to the
Welcome to
seller?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, if people walk in and think your house smells and you're not going to get any offers on your house because that's the first impression that everyone gets, shouldn't that be?
There's ways to say it though.
Yeah.
I would say, like, so let's say you walked into, like, I recently showed a smoker house. My client, I didn't even finish touring. My feedback was, my client loved the house online. Walking into the property, we did smell cigarette smoke, and that was a deal breaker for her and her asthma. She does have asthma, but even if she didn't have asthma, I would have worded it in such a way that it was there was a smell of this, and that was a deal breaker for my client.
I mean, that seems professional and the truth, which I understand. I just feel like
Some people will be like, there was a god awful smoke smell.
Okay.
Like, this house is disgusting. Good luck
Yes.
smelling it. Yeah.
It's the adjectives that people use are sometimes a little aggressive.
So the truth is okay. You just have to be.
You just have to be a human being that's actually decent.
And you need to be very careful.
You are.
You need to be very careful when you're giving feedback, because there are lawsuits out there where buyers have gone after their agent because they said they didn't want a house. That's the feedback the buyer gave the agent. I don't want the house.
Sure.
Agent submitted too raw of feedback. Buyer later changes their mind, usually after like a price adjustment.
Okay.
Submits an offer. Seller refuses to sell to that buyer because they're pissed at the feedback. So I keep my feedback as emotionally neutral as possible,
Sure.
very factual, and sometimes I'll put like realtor's opinion, and I'll put something like, I feel that, I'm not going to say my client said it, but I feel should be shared.
The other thing you can do is call.
Like,
So just like we'll go back to our communication class. Like, if you are sending something that you feel like could be potentially hurtful, like hurt someone's feelings or something, you can call the agent and not blurt it out either. Just kind of start to have a conversation and just gauge that agent, and then ask if they want you to submit it on the form.
I've literally had where I called people and said, how direct do you want me to be in my feedback? Especially if I know the agent, even if they're at another company, but I've done deals with them. It's like some agents are like, no, I would actually really appreciate direct feedback. I shared this with my seller. They didn't believe me. It would be helpful that they hear it from someone else.
I mean, that's what it just seems to me like you would want to know.
Yeah.
If I was selling my house, I would want to know why it's not selling, what people are thinking when they're coming.
You have to remember that in this industry, everyone's emotional.
Sure.
One of our main jobs as a realtor is to be an emotional buffer between all parties.
The other thing too is, like, agent to agent, I had an agent submit pretty nasty feedback on a listing, and then different listing, same agent made an offer on a different listing, and I was very hesitant. We ended up going with a different offer, but I was very hesitant to work with her because I just didn't trust her professionalism because of how she was. So
like there, a lot of times if I do a showing and I don't have strong feedback or anything, I try to just leave it as neutral as possible when filling out the form. Like if I don't want to give an opinion on stuff.
Yeah, I always like to put something in the comment box. Because we've been a listing agent too, where it's like, well, what they sent back was not helpful. But you could literally even you could be as simple as saying, like, I showed them 3 properties. This was their 3rd favorite.
Because it stinks.
Maybe you would leave that part out.
Leave that part out.
It's drummer, I can tell. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's how you do your feedback forms. You can ask whatever questions you want in there and save it, apply it. The only other thing, like what Bethany said, is like she wants it to go through. If you want a heads up, even if you are going to send it, you're going to send everything. You can put it on hold and then just send it so that you could call at the same time or know a phone call is coming. When it's coming, and not just at midnight. Have a client that's up at late and it calls it. There's feedback that they didn't like, or maybe that they liked, right? They're calling you, "Where's my offer?" So
We've had a couple. 20.
yes, like as soon as it pops in their inbox, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do hear that from agents quite a bit as like a TC, is that their client called them at midnight or 2 a.m. I'm like,
Not disturb is your best friend.
Okay, so now you have your listing and you're going to go into ShowingTime to set up the parameters for how people are going to book those showings for your listing. So over here on listings, you can enter a new listing, so you can manually do it if you want, say it's off market, or you don't want to wait the 25 minutes it sometimes takes for ShowingTime to connect to Northstar. You can manually enter it and put the listing ID in there and it'll eventually sync together. That is a little risky that you can end up with 2 of the same. But it just depends. If you have a hot property and you just want it in there and not have to wait, you can manually enter a listing. I'll click on it. So you just come in here, you're going to put in your information, and then this is where you put the listing ID. This is your MLS listing. And if it's going to be a non-MLS listing, then you would click over here. If it's not, it'll eventually pop in here. Make sense? Okay, so we're gonna come over to listings. We're gonna assume we waited the 25 minutes or whatever it takes to pop in. We do transactions across I should say not across the country, but in different states. And like Florida is instant. They're instant. So I don't understand why Northstar has such a hard time.
it's gotten better, but there still is. Definitely.
And people have never seen this because they don't do any of this. That's okay.
So potentially, if you have a TC or an admin and they're on vacation or they're out sick and you just have to come in here and fix something, or it is midnight and you're not going to bug them because you respect their time, you could come in here and make a change. At least you've then seen it, right? Okay. So allow the appointment center to take appointments. This can affect your billing if you pick yes or no. For some agents, depending on how the office is set up. Allow showing requests to be requested online. Yes, that is 100% free. Allow showing agents to request virtual appointments, so you can allow that if there is a virtual tour. This was added during COVID. I don't think it says for now. They just never took it out. Appointment type. So this is pretty important. So, this is what Whitney was going to do. You're going to do this. Sorry, I forgot. No, you didn't do it. She knows how to do that.
Okay. Appointment required, confirm with any, so that is any of your clients. So if there's like multiple, any of them can approve it, you can approve it. If your setup like that, any of that kind of stuff. Appointment required, confirm with all, that means everyone needs to be on there. So I would say like, I see this commonly with like rentals. They want like the renter to be able to see it and then also the homeowner. Courtesy call, that would be a phone call coming in. That, do any of you guys use that regularly? I don't know that I've ever had anyone use that, but
Back to all, if you have potentially like a property where the seller wants the agent to be present at all showings, that's a good one too, because then the agent can make sure that their schedule is open, so it's approved with all.
A lot of high-end properties, guys, like sellers require their listing agent to be there. They don't want someone just coming.
Just like HGTV, like if you watch all the fancy shows, the listing agent's always at the property.
And courtesy call, so I've been doing this 14 years. At the beginning of my career, that was very common because that's before everyone and their cousin had text messaging. So courtesy call was common then. I don't see it really anymore.
I think maybe, if somebody doesn't, there's maybe been 1 or 2 times where like if somebody doesn't text or email, that they'll have that on or want that on. Go and show, that's like the confirms immediately. View instructions only. I have had a couple where there's like very specific instructions about being able to show the house. And that's when that one would be. And then, is listing agent going to be there? Yes or no? Is it occupied? That's good to know.
It's also where you take that feedback, so you can have fun feedback or boring feedback.
And then so as the agent, you will automatically be in there, and then you can add, if there's a co-listing agent, you can add them in there, and then to add a client, we go in here, and then you can put if they are the if they're the owner or not, if they live, if they're living there or not, and phone number.
Pager. I did not know that was in there.
And I think you have to mark it mobile for it to give you the option to send the text, correct?
Yeah. Pager. Oh my God, we should try that. They have that technology to still send a
Doctors still have pagers.
All right.
Barely firemen though.
Yeah, right?
We timed them. It took 13 minutes for them to get here.
Really would have been down.
You know what would cause like multiple clients? Like I've had like 3 listings now where I'm the only one who gets requests for showing
That
at
would have
all.
been set up wrong in the back end. The
Yeah.
next time, let me know and we can fix it.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. I'm like, maybe it's just a glitch.
There are not as many tech glitches as we're thinking.
There don't know if it's still a thing, but there was definitely a thing where like everyone got unsubscribed from text messages and you had to re-opt in.
As an agent.
Oh, just as agents. Interesting.
Clients, I can't remember, but I had multiple agents that were like, how come I'm not getting notifications? And then I had to go through and
But they would
send
know.
them the thing so then they get a text message and they have to, I think, reply yes or whatever,
They would know though, so like, let's say, if you went back, like where they would know, like Alyssa, if you would have logged in to this property, you would have seen right there who is receiving.
I know, and they always say they are, but that's why I was like, maybe there's just something. I don't know.
So then, it might be like they didn't pick the mobile phone or
Versus.
they check the box that says don't send text messages.
Got it.
Yeah.
So if we were doing like confirm with all, you'd want to make sure that the agent also was confirming appointments, like if that was a request for this property. Just making sure that you have the correct people selected to confirm versus just getting the FYI.
You can always click on how this will work. So if you get this set up and you're like, oh, did I do that right? You can click on here and it'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. So then you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Then you can come back up here, you can edit what you want, and then click on it again and it'll show you what. And then once you have a showing, you can also click, we should go to that section after. Like you can see what actually happened and what time things were sent as well. Like if you have someone that's like, I'm not getting this or whatever, like you can see the activity. You can click and we'll go to that after. And you'd be like, well, the email was sent. Check your junk box. Check the thing.
Make sure the email is in there correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then for setting up like the rules and things like that. So, you know, if you're living at the property, you're probably gonna want some required time. My default is typically 1 hour required, 2 hours suggested. If like as a TC, that's what I typically set up, but usually they'll, you know, whatever it is that the seller wants, just confirm with your seller how much time they think they need. If they have kids or whatever, or they work from home and things like that, then they might need more time. So, and then to block off times, did I skip a section? So, the appointment length, everything like that, just, you know, whatever's preferred. Scheduling overlaps, again, what's preferred, tell the showing agent ahead of time versus only having one at a time. And then you can choose how many you would, if they do overlap, how many you would want to do.
Oh, so you're saying that they can not tell you if there's other people there?
Correct.
I've been wondering why. I'm like, I don't see that there's supposed to be another showing right now. Interesting. That's
We
weird.
allow multiple showings at the same time.
No, I know, but this is saying that if there are multiple showings, they don't have to tell the other buyer's agent that there are multiple people in their
Yeah,
house
you
at the
don't
same
have to share that you're double booked.
Interesting. Yeah, I've just been curious because I'll be like, wait, why is there a showing here without? Because usually it'll say you're you're currently the only scheduled whatever or the other thing that it says whatever it is. There are other showings, but interesting.
To add a showing rule, so these are always, whenever we do a restriction, I usually do like client requests. But these are the times that there cannot be showing. So like every Tuesday, Mrs. Seller has a meeting from 11 to noon, type of a thing. So then we would put in 11 to noon, repeating rule. And, you know, however far out we need to go. And then Tuesday. So like they're, you know, hosting a birthday party on Saturday. All day rule, so like they don't want people there. All day rule, one time rule, Saturday. Then you don't have to select, if it's just a one time rule, you don't have to select the day.
And then you guys get to decide if it's long enough that you need to be TNAS or not. Sometimes it's easier just to do this, like especially with the holidays coming up. Yeah. Like if someone doesn't want showing for Christmas, you know, you can just block off Christmas here instead of going TNAS and then back to active. Like that's one, if you're actually submitting all of your MLS change forms, it's kind of pain. So block it here.
And some people use TNAS for contingency.
The other thing that I get asked a lot, and it would be really great if ShowingTime figured this out, but you can't like lock off for a certain amount of time and then like automatically switch it back. that make sense? I'm trying to think of an example. Like, when do I see that happen?
I don't really know what you're talking
I know, I'm trying to think of an example. I just know it happens a lot, but I can't like think of it in more detail right now.
Do you mean like if it's blocked off and then the agent gets the seller to approve a showing during the time that it's blocked off?
No, how do they do that? What do you mean?
You can manually send a showing. Like you can, the listing agent can manually do a showing.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I knew I'd get there, guys. If they want it to be go and show over the weekend, there's no way to do an exception, or I mean a restriction or a change of it being like go and show over the weekend and then automatically going back to confirm with any.
Yeah, you can't, yeah. So up here at this top appointment type, you can't switch date, like you can't have certain days with this time and certain days with that time.
Which would be really nice.
Yes, but that does happen a lot.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be at the cabin this weekend. When that happens, I just tell my clients I can't manually do it, so that what I'll do is I'll approve them for them. And then I make sure I'm receiving the text. But that's how I've done it.
I mean, you can switch it, like you can come in here and flip
Yeah.
it to go and show.
The problem with that though is if an agent is being proactive for the next week and they're booking a showing for next Wednesday, the system will automatically approve that. So
You'll still get notified, so they'll still know.
Yeah, so timing is super important with that, like, and then turning it back on at the right time when they come back.
Yeah.
for our team, just because we're all in the room, do not do that and expect the ops team to make a fast change for you Monday morning. That's not fair. So like, if you're gonna change it, you're responsible for changing it back.
I've also asked, like, if there's a situation like that, I'll confirm with the agent and I'll just block off showings from like 8 to 10 a.m. Monday morning. And then that gives me time on Monday morning to get in and switch it back so that the seller doesn't have any surprises. But of course, like, make sure that's okay. Did you want to show?
The other stuff is like entering like the actual lockbox information, right, where it's located, add notes. And you guys know when people do great showing instruction, right? Be that agent.
Yeah.
And then like condos and things like that.
Yes,
That's
yep.
a huge difference.
Put notes in there where like the key is to the storage unit or what parking spot it is. Those are all great things to add into your showing notes. And then if you're using a TC or an assistant, make sure they know that, right? They can't read your brain. So you have to share that information so they can add it in. What else is down there? Notes for appointment staff. So if you're having ShowingTime take phone calls to schedule showings, again, not super common, but if you are, you could put notes in here. This is for ShowingTime. Like that's for the staff, the 1-800 number here. And then this is, oh yeah, see, garage number 58 included with the sale. So now you know if you go to the garage, it's number 58, right? They know that.
Christy must have a great TV.
She does. Look at
Right.
that. Also the directions in here. So this is a condo, obviously. Scroll all the way up. And then it says like lobby, like around the back. So it's not like the Google directions, right? Like use that. I can't imagine people don't use any sort of GPS, right? We use this a lot for just like that, right? Or like go to the side door, the lockbox is on the side door, like directions, or it's, you know, a long driveway or something, like actually directions to get them to the right property. They don't need to really know like 494 to like,
Right.
yeah, people don't need to know that unless it's like a brand new community. So that's the other thing. If you have new construction and
They
someone's
don't go in GPS.
and it's not on the
Apple Maps
GPS
will not
yet,
get you
then
there.
yes, write those directions in there because GPS doesn't work in those cases. So use that in that section. Okay, go to, listing activity report. I think that's where we can
Yeah, I
find
think
the,
that's where it is.
yeah. Okay, so if you come down here, yep, and just, pick one, maybe details. One that wasn't canceled. Like a past showing. Yeah. Okay, so right here. So if you have a seller that's like, I'm not getting my stuff, you can click here and you can see all of the communication that got sent and what time. So if there is, like it says successfully sent, right? And then it even shows they responded. It has all the detail in there. So like the ones that you're saying like your people aren't getting, you can click right on that and you can see
What
if
is
it's being
actually
sent
going
or not sent, yeah.
They
Yep.
confirmed it if they declined it or.
Yep, you can even see where I think it'll say app, like, so this they did online, so like if the agent did it from their phone, I think it even says it's on the app.
Yeah, so like the seller here confirmed via text message.
That's that other piece. Okay, you can send these reports, by the way, like you can email the report. You can schedule it. So you can schedule it to go out weekly or bi-weekly, right? And then you don't have to keep doing it over and over and over again. Send notifications. We do this a lot when there's any sort of communication. And then this is what I do. I always keep it as a price adjustment. And then I just edit if it's not a price adjustment because it already has all the info in there.
Yeah.
If you click it to something else, then it removes this all. But you can then just edit whatever it is. Like we got offers, highest and best, whatever it is. And then up here you can click on who is going to get that information.
Make sure if you do a price adjustment, so if you do your price adjustment in the MLS and then you come here to send notifications, because it doesn't happen automatically, you're gonna have to change the price to what the new price is. Otherwise, you're gonna send out a notification that has the old price on it.
What else is in here? Attachments. So you can add attachments in here. Home features, lead-based themes, those kind of things. Then it pops into the email. I'm sure everyone's received those before.
But you can only do
5? I think it's 5.
5 in ShowingTime.
Yeah. So if you have more than 5, just combine your PDFs.
What we use for like when we send reports for listing services.
So it just takes out the agent contact information, but it has all the things. So yours has all the contact info.
Agent version has all of the things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to go to reports? Okay. This seems like everyone in the room knows more than I do. So this is okay, so I'm gonna do some of these easy ones first, like market stats. This is going to InfoSparks. So this is a great connection with the MLS just in a different spot. I'm not going to do a class on InfoSparks right now. Then this one I really haven't used this too much. I like the look of it, but I haven't really used this much. So you can pick, so this is a 4-bedroom. Okay, we're back. It did a default price range in here. My filters. Is anyone using this? Yeah, it doesn't seem super valuable to me.
It's no different than what like your CMA would show you, in my opinion. I would say this is like a fast CMA.
Yeah. And it, I mean, this part's pretty, I guess, but I don't know. Okay, so that's that report. So we went over that one. Activity on comparables report. So this one is showings on listings in your office, by the way. Not everyone's. So like you do 500 to 7 days. These are the showings. Because if you do this, like, here, we'll do this, I'll show you. It's the activity on comparable reports. So it's listing in your office with active inventory. So it's not across MLS. Which is disappointing. This would be way more valuable if it was across MLS.
So if Alyssa has a listing and she says she has 12 showings.
You can double, you can fact check me.
Yeah, but if the Coldwell Banker agent says they have 12 showings, you can't, at least on this report, you can't see it. Unless somebody else knows some other hack, but I don't. Agent activity report. So this is your activity, right? So this is going to be listings, price changes, status changes, other activities, your showings, all that. This is about you. The listings activity report. So this are your listings. No, it just shows like showings year to date. Yeah. I wonder. Does anyone use it? Yeah. Okay.
What's the final report on that page? All the way down. Sorry, back.
I was so excited to meet whoever it was.
If you go back to the reports, you scroll all the way down.
Yeah.
Is that's across all of them, or is that just the office?
I think this is across all of them.
That's what I use.
Yeah, that's the like most
I
valuable.
wouldn't use activity on comparables if that's only our market center. Which I didn't even know that, but target market analysis is all, I think. But now
I agree with you.
Now I'm questioning that though.
So,
You are correct, which is why I'm curious.
That's what we use.
There's no way though, like in St. Francis, there's 6 people in the office all showing.
But you,
all right, we'll get there. Do you guys want to skip, or do you want the?
no, you're fine.
I'll show them.
No, you do. I mean, you have people on Zoom, so you should do one. But I mean, you should do whatever. Like, go through your whole.
In person.
Okay. This is the same report that we just showed you. It's just a different way to get to it, right? So it's per listing. Got the cool little charts. Right. So that's this one. Go back here. We're almost there. Showings you've requested. So this is similar to the activity report. Feels like a duplication, but it's just your showings. Christy showing anything? Nothing. She's got nothing. Nothing. Oh, now I broke it. Shoot.
Take that page.
Okay. Now we have target market. Yeah, now the good one. Okay, so this one. Well, let's just do the same thing and see what happens. I believed that this one was everything and the other one was just the office, but let's see. We'll just make it the same weird thing. Oh yeah, it's everything. Because it doesn't give you the people.
Not a glitch.
Not a glitch. So the difference is, so the other one actually shows you who the agents are that are showing and what property they were showing. Like it's pretty intrusive. This one is just showing
Intrusive.
I mean, it is. This one is just showing numbers. There's no contact information. So, you can see in the price ranges, and then you can change the increments, right? So if you want to do like 50 or 25 feels like the most, maybe 10. I don't know. I would guess 50 and 25 are the most, just 1,000 increments here. So you can use this for hitting certain, like if you're pricing and you want to hit like the bulk of where the buyers are. If anyone else has any other suggestions on how you're using this, if you're using it initially or using it for price reductions, or to have a conversation with like these showings right here, showings per listing, right? 5. If you've had 20 or you've had 1, like if your numbers on your listing are way different than everyone else.
Depending on the price point, I go as low as even a $5,000 increment. Like if it's a $300,000 house, I'll go as low as 5,000 to show them the difference. But like example, when Alyssa and I were using this tool because they were trying to decide if they were going to keep this buyer that was contingent on selling their home, and the listing agent, the person that was representing the buyer buying Alyssa's listing, who also was representing the sale of these buyers' home, wasn't very communicative, and the sellers had not done a price adjustment. And she said, well, they said they're getting tons of showings. And I said, well, do we know for sure? And so then we pulled up the city, and there had been 0 showings in that price point, because you can change the dates. So we ran it for the, like, you can even do calendar dates. We ran it for the entire calendar timeline that the listing had been active, and there were 0 showings in that price point.
You can make it custom, or you can use the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
You can use this. I would also use this tool. So use it for a seller when you're going on the appointment and like how to a pricing strategy. Use it as a price reduction, but then use this for your buyers. So Barry, when I asked you like how many showings does the property your buyers want to write on, I would go pull these stats to see how many showings there are, just so you kind of can roughly gauge. And then what I do is I cross compare and I go into the MLS and I look at the same thing. How many listings are in the city at that price point? Because it might not just be one listing.
Bless you.
Right? If there's 2 listings in Maple Grove at $500,000, we don't know if it's property A or property B.
And we won't know.
We won't.
That's all I got.
That was
Thank you.
very informative. Thank you.
This report, though, is what I would encourage you all to get really familiar with and comfortable with. And that's the lowest report. When you go to the report tab on the left, it's the last one on the page.
Very last one.
Target market analysis.
And then just remember this top, or the market stat, no, this one, active on comparables is just our office.
That one. Okay.
That seems limiting.
Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate you.